where 25 million people came in over a period of 4 years, and now nobody comes in. Nobody even tries to come in. And I can only say, I think we'll say it very plainly, elections have consequences. The people want law and order, and we have a silent majority.
Yeah, there's a little bit of copium there for you, for Donald Trump. I mean, look, he's saying the border is shut down, which is, if you just want the border absolutely shut down, then maybe you consider Trump to have done a good job. You can give that to him. The issue is that he knows that people are not just stopping at good job on the border. They see the other stuff that he's doing. They see what Bovino is doing. They see what Noem and Stephen Miller and Homan are doing, and they don't like it. They see the people being gunned down in the streets. And I don't think he's bragging internally about the silent majority. I think he's worried about the vocal majority that doesn't like him in general, and especially on immigration. Now, we're going to get to some of the most recent data, but first, here's a little bit more from that appearance.
You know, we have a silent majority of people. They don't go and riot and everything else, but they like what we're doing. They like having a safe city. I get calls every single day. Every person I see working in the White House, people I don't know, many people work here. And they say, I'd like to thank you, sir. Why? You've made Washington so great. We walk to work.
Yep, they just line up, big, strong, burly men, and they have tears in their eyes as they say, sir, you've done a great job, sir. Who's buying this, man? Who is buying this? Anyway, we know 39% of Americans approve of the job that Trump is doing on immigration. That's down 2 points just from earlier this month. 53% disapprove. That's 39%. That's still a good chunk of the country, right? Right? Well, 25 to 30% of that are never going to be against anything he does. If he came in and knocked all the members of their family over the head with a baseball bat, they'd give him a rousing round of applause. And so, of the percentage that can actually be convinced, a lot already have. But he doesn't want to admit it. And I get it. He can't take ownership of the mistakes that he's made. He can't acknowledge the failures of his administration, but they are adding up, and we are all seeing it, by the way. Obviously, most recently, the brutal, needless murder of Alex Pretti is on a lot of people's minds. We actually have a small update on that. The identity of two of the federal agents who shot Alex have now been revealed. That is Border Patrol agent Jesus Ochoa and Customs and Border Patrol officer Raymundo Gutierrez. We know a little bit about them. They've been in CBP since 2018, the first, and 2014, the second. The second guy is assigned to a special response team, which conducts high-risk operations like those of police SWAT units. And I really worry about his ability to do that job, considering that when he just comes across a guy on the street, he ends up gunning him down. I don't think we should put him in any high-stress, tense environments. But anyway, both of the men apparently are from South Texas. And so, like they've done in other cases, they take these, what are probably very conservative South Texas men, they send them these blue areas, and then they just let them run amok, murdering people. And that's what they did. And I just want to briefly jump ahead to save a little bit of time. I saw this tweet from Hand Banana, just the irony. The year is 2026. Two federal agents named Ochoa and Gutierrez shoot a white Midwestern guy open carrying. You'll never guess which political coalitions line up on each side. And yeah, now, of course, if you understand the politics of the Rio Grande Valley in Texas, you'd know that there are a lot of conservative Hispanic voters there, which is certainly true. But then I looked below that tweet and I saw this. It was very important to people on Twitter to point out, which I hadn't known, he's not actually white, everybody. White is something of a misnomer here, but otherwise, yes, it's a rather ironic set of circumstances. And then the parentheses, you get it? It's their way of identifying Jewish people. And then for the love of God, get it right, he's Jewish. This is just a reminder that if you are not currently on Twitter, there's no reason to go back, because that's the sort of people that they have there. It's very important that you know Alex Pretti is not white. He's Jewish. These freaking weirdo anti-Semites. Anyway, JR, what do you think?
Yeah, by the way, I mean, I guess a needless dismantling of Donald Trump's logic again. How is there a silent majority when you say people keep coming and telling you how much they love it? Is it silent or are they vocal? Because you're telling me that they're silent, but at the same time, they're vocally going to keep run up on you and tell you. Same thing that the same that the Border Patrol and ICE agents said. Every time we walk in the streets before we're throwing, tear canisters at folks, the people run up and say they love what we're doing. Are they there in the middle of these scenes of destruction and attack before they thank you so much? It doesn't make any sense. None of it makes any sense. Please stop listening to them. By the way, John, one disagreement with you. These aren't failures from Donald Trump that he has to admit to. This is what Donald Trump wants. Donald Trump watches these things and he loves them. Same way he watched his mob run up on the Capitol on January 6th. He loves this. This is what he thrives for. This is what he planned. This is what he told us during the campaign he wanted to do. And there's too many people who are now apparently figuring it out that when he said those words meant what he wanted to do. Lastly, though, I need to for them no longer talk about how they're arresting terrorists, gang members, pedophiles, rapists, and murderers, because all those descriptions are incredibly accurate to what it is that they're doing. We have an adjudicated rapist in the White House. We have him covering up for the Epstein files for all these pedophiles that are in it, including himself. And we keep talking about how they're arresting all these folks. I really wish every time they mention it, someone says, well, that's kind of ironic, isn't it? Because you guys are covering for all of those things. We terrorized folks in the Caribbean waters, blowing up random people in boats and claiming that they were terrorists. We're killing people in the streets. We're murdering folks. And we've got gang members running up on people's cars, snatching them out, kicking in doors. And you got pedophiles that you're protecting. Please, every time you mention it, you should be embarrassed because somebody's going to bring up all of the filthy things that you're doing and the folks that you're protecting. I need this to become like our norm and stop letting these idiots change our outlook and our reality that we're looking at in our faces. That's their objective. Keep saying it until we don't believe we're looking at what they're accusing us of.